Hello and welcome to Sportszone. This is our Super Bowl preview. We are just days away from Super Bowl 50 between the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. That is happening Sunday. Kickoff, I believe, is at 6:30. Yep. It is currently Thursday, so that's how close we are. I'm joined by Vincent Salandro, and we are just going to break it down right here where we'll touch upon both teams, how they played this season, and what we can expect in the Super Bowl this week. So, Vince, obviously, like I just mentioned, we had the matchup between the Carolina Panthers and the Denver Broncos. Let's start with the NFC right here, Carolina. Really a team this year that pleasantly surprised a lot of individuals. However, they haven't, had their success without some controversy. Vince, going into this game, what do you expect to see from this extremely high tempoed offense?
Well, I think they're gonna see a lot of difficulty going against the Broncos defense, which is gonna factor in. We saw what the Broncos did in the AFC Championship game. It looked like Von Miller and guys like Brandon Marshall were just living in the backfield next to Tom Brady. So they've harassed teams all year. The only player to put up over 300 yards passing against them, actually did it twice. It was Ben Roethlisberger. So this defense has been very stout. But the offensive side for Carolina, you look at them, they don't have a lot of weapons. They've got Cam Newton, who should be the perennial choice for MVP. He's been phenomenal this year. He can run, he can pass, he can do it all. But he doesn't have a lot of options around him. He's made use of Greg Olsen, who's kind of had a resurgence in his career. Jonathan Stewart's had the best year running the ball he's had in a while. Ted Ginn will drop 5 balls out of every 6 you throw him, but the 6th one will be a 70-yard touchdown, then all will be forgiven. So it's kind of a weird dynamic with their offense, but I think they go as Cam Newton goes, and Cam Newton this season has been the MVP, so that kind of tells you how their season has gone. Yeah,
and the offense has really just done something even that a lot of people didn't expect them to do, especially in the playoffs, blowing out the teams that they've played. I mean, putting up, I think at least 40 against both Seattle and Arizona. And so that just alone has been an absolute shock, to say the least, because people expected, okay, playoffs coming around. Yes, this team is very cocky. They're going in 15-1 to the playoffs. But will they really fare as well against teams that the Seahawks were 2-time defending NFC champs, and then the Arizona Cardinals that are just stocked with weapons on offense as well? It was interesting to see that the defense did a big job stepping up as well. And you're looking at a team here that they were smart. Mm-hmm. Ron Rivera and the Panthers organization, they were a smart bunch of guys that, they locked up these star players, Olsen, Cam, on the defensive side, Luke Kuechly, to long-term deals before this season. Yeah. And so just down the line, this is going to be really exciting looking at if Carolina can sustain that success. Moving over to the AFC champions, a familiar face is back in the Super Bowl, and something that should be noted is that I believe 12 of the past 13 Super Bowls have had an AFC team led by either Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger, or Tom Brady. And this year it is one more time Peyton Manning. Manning is appearing in, this must be his 4th Super Bowl, I believe. Yeah. He is so far a record 1-2, mm-hmm. winning one with Indianapolis, then losing fairly badly 2 years ago.
That was an embarrassing game.
And that's putting it mildly against Seattle. But Peyton, this season alone has not been his best as a regular season quarterback, and he is, undoubtedly either 1 or 2 all time. I mean, it's definitely up there neck and neck with Tom Brady. Mm-hmm. Vince, with Denver's production this entire season, you mentioned a little bit about the defense. What can we expect from this offense?
I think they've shown Peyton Manning, is not what he used to be. He's not a gunslinger throwing the ball around. They've really established the run game a little bit with C.J. Anderson, some short passing game. He's always had success with his tight ends, whether it be back in Indianapolis or now. We've seen Owen Daniels kind of caught 2 touchdowns in the AFC Championship game, kind of going underneath. But they've got those explosive receivers in Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders who can stretch you out and do have speed. So I think the offense is going to be defined by balance. They're going to try and hit the big plays, but I think they're going to wear down the Carolina's defense. use their offensive line, which has kind of been their strength, keeping Peyton Manning protected and safe, going against the Carolina front seven, which has really been phenomenal. Carolina may be a little dinged. Thomas Davis Sr., their linebacker, has a fractured arm, but he's saying he's going to play. I think his impact in the game, or his presence in the game, is going to have a big impact going forward. But Peyton Manning, I think he needs this for his legacy. You know, he has all the numbers, he has all the stats, but he really hasn't delivered in a big game. He's beaten Rex Grossman in a Super Bowl, and that's it. You know, when he's come up against Drew Brees and then recently Russell Wilson, they've really outperformed him. So I think in his record in the playoffs stands for itself. He's done better recently, but I really think he needs this to solidify his legacy as the best quarterback of all time.
And it has really been a shaky season for the Denver Broncos, especially on the offensive side. This team for years, especially any team with Peyton Manning as quarterback, has been known to be an offensive-minded team. And Denver, especially throughout their franchise history, has been offensively minded. I mean, you look at the Elway seasons as well, winning those 2 Super Bowls in the 90s. And so we're looking at a season where, you know, Peyton was injured again.
Yeah.
I mean, and you've seen what happens to most teams that Peyton's on. And when I say most teams, yes, he's only played for 2, but those seasons where he has been injured, those teams, they really suffer. However, this year, they were fortunate with Brock Osweiler actually helping them out as well as he could as a backup. A lot of backups don't get that chance, especially when, you know, your quarterback is someone like a Manning or a Brady. Right. Osweiler performed admirably. Peyton came back week 17. The rest has been history there. But the defensive side of the ball has really been something that a lot of people have flocked to. I mean, this defense is the best that we've seen in the entire NFL this season, outperforming defenses such as the Legion of Boom, as the Steelers defense as well. And Pittsburgh has had years of a solid defense there. So I want to see how this game might play out with a Manning who is throwing, you know, many, many more interceptions than we ever expected there. Furthermore, I mean, this game should just be exciting. Unfortunately, that is all the time that we have for our Going for Two
Gotta make some predictions,
segment.
don't we?
We do have to do predictions. And so, Vince, I guess we'll throw it over to you because you're the only other guy here with me. What do you got?
I'm saying Carolina's going to win. They're going to win 31-28. Cam Newton's going to lead them down. They're going to kick a game-winning field goal. Lots of little children are going to be happy. Lots of touchdowns scored in the Super Bowl. Cam Newton will win Super Bowl 50.
So you're saying it's going to be a close one with the NFC. I actually think that for Peyton's final hurrah, he's going to end up pulling it out somehow, and that's a big somehow. It will be a high-scoring game. I'm going to say somewhere along the lines of a 36-31 final score right there. The defense for Denver will not be as great as they have been, but we'll see what happens. Like I said, that's all the time we have for Going for Two. Stay tuned for more Sports Zone. Also, make sure to check out our blog, atvsportszone.wordpress.com. We will get rid of that WordPress part soon enough. Stay tuned for more Sports Zone. Look for our projections and much more information coming at you. We'll see you.